Hello there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Evan Edinger and I just moved into this house about a month and a half ago after quite a long journey. Also, this is my bedroom. You've not been introduced. If I was a magician, I'd say something like, this is where I fail to pleasure my girlfriend. But that aside, this place that I've moved into is a shared ownership house. It's a leasehold. You read a lot of stuff online about this thing. As someone who's new to the country-ish, 9-10 years now, there's still things that you learn. You read the pros and cons. Heck, even I made a video about the pros and cons of all the different types of ways of buying a flat in this country. But knowing that the cards I was dealt, the only way I could afford to live in London was to do this 25% shared ownership scheme in which I own 25% of a flat and the developer owns the other 75%. I have to pay rent on that and I remain a leaseholder. I knew that that was my only option. And so I skidded by the edge of my teeth. I just managed to get in. This is what I have. But there's a lot of things that I just didn't, I didn't really fully grasp necessarily. Yes, they do say that you don't own the full property, but you own the full repair costs. And I was like, yeah, but it's a new build. What repairs could there be initially? Like down the line, sure, but I'm a homeowner, sure. Oh my God. I think, I've just moved into a place, so you must think like, what could possibly be there to fix? Well, if the developer is bad at quality, which is concerning, you'd be surprised. So a couple things that have gone wrong are their fault, and a couple things are my fault. I am a new homeowner. I don't know a lot of things, and I'm trying my best to learn. So hopefully today, stay with me here. We'll just do a little sit and chat about some different things that I've learned and figured out and funny stories that have happened so far. So first off, right out the gate, for the first month I lived here, I didn't have heating at all. Like literally anytime I had a friend over, we would be wearing coats and I just kind of accepted that. Why? Well, the thermostat that they provided me with seemed really confusing. I read the manual multiple times. I tried watching YouTube videos about this thermostat, but nothing that I took in managed to change anything on the thermostat. Nothing. It still was freezing. I called up the people to be like, hello, developer. I think there's a problem with my flat. Could you possibly get someone in to fix the heating? And they basically told me, if we find out it's because you're an idiot and you don't know how to operate the thermostat, we're going to charge you the full price of the plumber. And I'm like, oh God. Like at this point, I'm like, never mind. I'm going to try and make this work. I didn't budget in for that type of thing. So I'm working. I can't figure it out. So I finally give up and I tell them to come on over. And guess what? It was 100% their fault. When they checked me in, they never unscrewed the little bits with the plumber at the base. Not like the actual thermostat radiator valve, but like these other ones that need like a specific wrench. Either way, huzzah, I now have heating. And I didn't have to pay for it, thank God, because it's not my fault. I wasn't given a finished place, I guess you could say. So the other day as well, I go into my guest bathroom and I go number one. I don't know about you, but my number ones are pretty chill, all right? They're a liquid. They're pretty clear. I'm a hydro homie myself. I pee in there. There's nothing that can clog. It is pee. The toilet runs. It just starts running. I flush. It just keeps flushing. For 2 hours, it continuously flushes. There's an entire lake somewhere in the Lake District that's now gone because of my toilet. I'm freaking out. I don't know where my stopcock is. And I don't know what that word is in American because I never learned the word. But I know here it's a stopcock. Essentially, it's part of your house that you can turn a little nos and it basically turns the water off. I was going crazy listening to the sound of... You think going to sleep hearing the sound of water is like aesthetically pleasing? No. I'm like losing my mind. If I call up different people, like the water won't stop running, they're tossing me to different groups like, oh no, you're a shared ownership person. You actually don't get help from us. You have to call those people. So I call those people, they're like, we're actually closed. It's 7 p.m. What do you expect? And so I'm like, God damn it. I finally get in contact with someone because I had to say it was a matter of life and limb. And he just said, well, you're going to have to pay for a plumber. That's your fault. And I was like, I literally just moved in. He was like, sorry, that's how we treat leaseholders. Cool. Turns out I then went, how does that make sense? I literally just moved in. I'm fairly certain this is within some defects period. And he went, oh, okay, I'm sorry. That is because you're actually covered because of this. And I was like, oh, you're sorry? Either way, he said, doesn't matter. You can find the stopcock, turn off the water at the source, and we'll send someone out in a couple days. So I don't have water right now. I can turn it on if I need to wash a dish or my face, but then I just have to turn it off. Otherwise, I hear Niagara Falls in the bathroom. Annoying. But speaking of this bathroom, I now actually can use it. It's empty. However, for the first month I lived here, I just kind of shoved everything in there. My printer, all of my printing boxes and things, it was overloaded with shit. It was so full of shit. And the other day, I basically get a guy in to install my smart thermostat. I got one because, I don't know if you guys have read the news, but there's an incredibly bad energy crisis right now. And people in my area have genuinely had an increase tenfold in their bill. And I'm not exaggerating, they went from £15 a month to pay for their electricity and such to $150. And you might say, holy crap, how is that allowed? Doesn't the government have some sort of thing in place to protect people from the energy crisis and it make sure that you don't pay over a certain amount? They did actually. Very convenient. Very good of the government to do that. For everyone except for people that live in communal heating environments, where you all have the HIU inside of your house, and the boiler kind of works for everybody. Oh, no, we're not affected by the safety net. And so everyone's just gouging for us. So if you're wondering how yours is still not as expensive as it could be, it's communal. We're paying the bills. And so I'm thinking, I'll get a smart thermostat to try and offset how horrible this energy crisis is going to hit me for the next couple months. And so I'm thinking, I can have it as soon as I leave the house. Smart thermostat turns the heating off, save some energy. And so I call a guy in to try and put my thermostat in. And he's having a look and he's like, I have no idea how to do this. So I'm like, this is why I don't use TaskRabbit. So then I call up the brand of the smart thermostat and I'm like, oi, how do you do this? And they said, send us a pic of your boiler. So I sent them a pic. I opened the door, I'm going in, I'm looking, and I was like, there it is. And they're like, we've never seen this before. And I went, what do you mean you've never seen it before? Look at it. I'm shoving my camera in, getting all the nice angles. What do you think this is? They then say, sorry, we don't work with your boiler. And I was like, God dang it. I swear they did. Turns out, I realized 2 weeks later, had a weird epiphany. I was actually sending the company photos and videos of my ventilation system, of my ducts, the thing that filters air in this flat. Great! I'm a very intelligent man, clearly. I'm like, why doesn't it work with you? It's because you're sending me a ventilation system. So I call in a different guy to install it into the actual boiler, which is in my utility room. This is just random adulty homeownery things. And he comes in, I tell him the story about how I thought it was in the ducts. He thought that was very funny. He got quite a kick out of that. And at some point, he needed to use the restroom. Okay, so he asked to use the toilet. And I could have asked him to go in here, but I was like, oh, are you okay to use this one? It's kind of full of shit at the moment. He was like, oh, it's okay. Do not worry. I went, all right. So he goes in, closes the door, flushes the toilet. And I'm like, all right. This type of guy, I didn't really peg him for a germaphobe, flushing the toilet as soon as he walks in, but sure enough, he flushes it again. About 3 minutes later, he comes out, does his business. I'm making a cup of coffee. Got an hour goes by. I now need to pee. He's still not figured out my system with the actual boiler. I go in to the toilet to try and squeeze through all the shit, and I open the toilet cover, and well, sure enough, there's a little bit of a visitor. There's a visitor in my toilet. So it turns out, when I had literally said to this man, oh, sorry, you can use this bathroom, but it's a bit full of shit at the moment. It was. It turns out, in this toilet, the toilet lid hides the flush button. So if you want to flush, you basically cover. You don't get to see if the goods have been delivered. In fact, they were returned to sender. This man went in to use a toilet, was verbally told it's full of shit, and he must have lifted up and been like, I do not know what they expected. Well, those are my stupid stories from the first month of living here in the flat so far. I don't know why I make a delicious cup of tea every time I do one of these videos, because I take a sip and then we just nonstop. It's a nice little catch up. Doing okay though. Hope you like this little setup in the bedroom at the moment. But if you have any other advice for me, things that I might be forgetting in this home, I know that there's so many things. Hopefully I get water sorted out by next week. Please leave me a comment. We'll have a little chat. Other than that, hopefully I'll see you here next week. If you want, you can watch a different story of mine. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.